I am Ramses II, the son of Seti I, born of the gods to rule the two lands of Egypt. The day I first opened my eyes, the priests of Ammonius read the stars and declared that I was destined for greatness. My father, the great Seti, ruled as a mighty pharaoh, restoring order and prosperity to the land after years of chaos. From my earliest days, I was raised not merely as a prince, but as a god in waiting, a leader who would carry the eternal flame of Egypt forward. I was born in 1303 BCE, a golden age for Egypt. My childhood was not like that of other boys. While they played in the fields or fished along the Nile, I learned the ways of kingship. My father, Seti, personally oversaw my education. He taught me that a pharaoh must be more than a ruler. He must be a warrior, a builder, a diplomat, and above all, a servant of the gods. From an early age, I accompanied my father on his military campaigns. I watched as he led his armies to victory, extending Egypt's borders and securing its wealth. By the time I was 14, I had proven myself capable of command. My father appointed me as Prince Regent, second only to him. Even as a boy, I bore the weight of Egypt's crown and the dreams of its people. When my father left this world to join the gods, I ascended the throne as the ruler of Upper and Lower Egypt. I was young, but I was ready. The red and white crowns of Egypt sat heavy on my brow, but I wore them with pride. I took the name Usermater Setipenra, meaning the Mod of Ra is powerful, the chosen of Ra, for I was the living embodiment of the divine. In those early years, Egypt was strong, but threats loomed on our borders. The Hittites in the north sought to challenge our dominance in the Levant. Rebellions flared in Canaan, and Libya's tribes tested our western borders. I knew that my first task as pharaoh was to secure Egypt through strength. War was my crucible. In my fifth regnal year, I led my armies to Kadesh, a city on the Orontes River, where our greatest rival, the Hittites, sought to assert their power. It was a battle unlike any other, a clash of thousands of soldiers and chariots, the largest chariot battle in history. The Hittite king, Muwatalli II, was cunning. His spies deceived my scouts, leading me to believe that the Hittite army was far away. But as I and the Ammonius division set up camp, his chariots stormed out of hiding, ambushing my forces. My men were scattered, chaos reigned, and for a moment, it seemed the gods had turned their faces from me. But I, Ramses, am no ordinary man. I am the favored of Ammonius, the living god of Egypt. I climbed into my chariot and led a charge against the enemy. My arrows flew true. My sword struck down those who dared to challenge me, and with the strength of the gods in my heart, I turned the tide. Reinforcements arrived, and though the battle ended in a stalemate, I proclaimed it a victory. The story of my heroism was carved into the walls of every temple, so that all would know of my bravery. After years of conflict, I chose peace. In my 21st year as pharaoh, I forged a treaty with the Hittites, the first known peace treaty in history. This treaty, inscribed in both hieroglyphs and Akkadian, declared eternal peace between our nations. To seal the bond, I took a Hittite princess as my wife, uniting our peoples. I'm a builder as much as a warrior. I knew that stone would outlast flesh, that monuments would speak of my greatness long after I had joined the gods. My reign was an age of unparalleled construction, a time when Egypt rose to unmatched splendor. At Abu Simbel, I carved twin temples into the cliffs overlooking the Nile. The larger temple, adorned with 4 colossal statues of myself, was aligned with the sun so that twice a year its rays illuminated the sanctuary within. This was no mere vanity. It was a statement to all who saw it that Ramses was eternal, that Egypt's glory was unmatched. I expanded the great temples at Karnak and Luxor, adding massive obelisks, pylons, and colonnades. The Ramesseum, my mortuary temple, stands as a testament to my achievements. Its walls tell the story of my life, my victories, my devotion to the gods, and the prosperity I brought to Egypt. Ramses, my capital in the Nile Delta, was a city of wonder. It bustled with life, its streets lined with palaces, temples, and workshops. It was the heart of my empire, a symbol of Egypt's power and my vision. I had many wives, as was fitting for a pharaoh, but none compared to Nefertari. She was my great royal wife, my partner in rule, and the love of my life. For her, I built a temple at Abu Simbel, dedicated to the goddess Hathor. Its walls bear words of love that still echo through the ages. For whom the sun rises, my great love. Nefertari bore me children, princes and princesses who were the future of Egypt. In total, I fathered more than 100 children, ensuring the continuation of my dynasty. My sons were appointed to positions of power, serving as generals, priests, and governors. My daughters, too, were honored, marrying into noble families and acting as priestesses of the gods. To rule Egypt was to serve the gods. Each morning, I performed rituals to honor Ammon-Ra, the king of the gods, and to renew the divine order of Ma'at. I offered sacrifices, burned incense, and prayed for the prosperity of my people. I saw myself as more than a man. I was the bridge between heaven and earth. The gods spoke through me. They will manifest in my actions. My temples were not only monuments to my reign, but places where the gods could dwell among men. I reigned for 66 years, longer than most men live. I watched as my children grew old and passed away, as generations of Egyptians were born and died under my rule. I was Egypt, and Egypt was me. When I felt my time drawing near, I prepared for the journey to the afterlife. I ensured that my tomb in the Valley of the Kings would be worthy of a god, filled with treasures and inscribed with prayers. It was a gateway to eternity. When my Ka left this world, I joined my ancestors among the stars. But my name lives on. My temples still rise from the sands of Egypt. My monuments still speak of my glory, and my story is still told. I am Ramses the Great, the son of Egypt, the beloved of Ammonius, and my legacy will endure for all time.